Locations in horror games are the essence of what indie horror games are all about. The way developers set their scenes for the players to interact with their world, location, the area, objects, lighting, details, all of this make or break a game for the player. And we have seen some tremendous territories and tremendous work in the game Dark Deception, from the likes of Chapter 3's Stranger Sewers to Crazy Carnival, which is why environments in this game are crucial, and that is why everyone is so keen to know what is next for Chapter 4. Fortunately for us, developers have given us a peek into what it's like to see darkness, and that is Chapter 4. I apologize for being this late with this cave teaser. Also, this video is made before the new live stream, so if there are confirmation that already happened and I didn't mention in this video, it's probably because I already did in the previous videos. Anyways, this blew my mind when I saw it. I had a small idea how this location would fit in some level of Dark Deception Chapter 4, but I didn't know this is what they would be going for. Vincent Livings and Glowstick Entertainment made it quite clear that they would do whatever it is necessary to keep the spoilers hidden from the public, and they're doing a great job. Voice crack. Not a single big spoiler has been given out to the public, so people like me automatically, when there is something to grab on, as you've seen from previous videos, we will take it. In order to understand this teaser, we need a very quick context of how we got here in the first place. The fact of the matter is, and I've been saying this from day one, Nurses level, Joy Gang level, these are understandable levels. We can fairly, without them spoiling anything, can expect a little bit as to what we will be dealing with comes Chapter 4 and these levels in general. Mama Bear and Turtle Teddy, the last level of Dark Deception Chapter 4 to set up Chapter 5's mannequin and maybe potential Tammy boss battle. Regardless, this level has a massive significance to the story. Not just that, but also to hype players for Chapter 4 to start that good stuff pre-order for the finale. Trust me, this level has so much responsibility on its head, so it needs every trick in the book to make it work and not just keep players, but bring in the new ones. Anyways, in all previous videos I've ever made, I've been straight to the point about this final level and its location. We are unaware of it because not much has been made public, hence not much can be said here, like where does these bears and teddies exist anyway? What could possibly be in this level? Mechanics. Out of all, the mind-boggling question is its location. Where in the world could possibly these teddies and bears be running or roaming around? What is happening here? We came with a ton of theories from the likes of home. Kids' school home was kind of lame now that I think about it. Graveyard still on the table, by the way. I'll tell you why in just a second. Up until Dark Deception themselves posted something that would change every Dark Deception's fans' life and their perspective forever. On Twitter, they said, and I quote, "There is no light at the end of this tunnel. Hashtag Dark Deception, hashtag Chapter 4. So one thing we do know is that this will be related to Chapter 4. But before we see what this teaser is, keep in mind one thing, because this is gonna be really important. They said no light at the end of this tunnel. Very important, and two massive points that I'll just touch in a second. In the picture, we can see a very creepy cave entrance. It has good lighting, but one thing I did notice, and had they added that, I would have been here telling you how it will end. There should have been, or let's say, I'm not seeing active rocks. See, this cave entrance is smoothed out, but it is active. Not only that, the path made to go inside also seems like whoever was here or been here or lived here or still here makes this place an active or alive area. I mean, it makes sense, of course. We're about to have an encounter with a giant bear with dozens, if not hundreds, of small teddies all ready to swallow our entire body for good. But still, it is very shady. Now, let's talk about how this fits into entirety of this level. Firstly, this teaser shows just an entrance in the cave. Now, it happened before. This could be just a pathway to the other area. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where the important announcement comes in. See, in the last video, I mentioned how Vincent Livings confirmed 3 zones for each level of Chapter 4. That is right, 3 freaking zones. Who does these sort of stuff? This could just be a pathway from Zone 1 to Zone 2, or Zone 2 to Zone 3, or Zone 3 to boss battle. Or this could be Zone 1. This could be be Zone 2, this could be Zone 3, hence the path in this teaser is so smoothed out. That was the first take on this, but before we get to the other theories and what exactly we are dealing with here, it's time for the good stuff of the day. Shout out to one of you who reminded me that I didn't have the good stuff of the day in the last video, so let's get to the good stuff of last video. This good stuff of the day is brought to you by that person. The first good stuff of the day is coming from the movies section. Yes, you know how I love some of them good movies. A Quiet Place Part 2? Nah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Marvel. Yes, that is like, ladies and gentlemen, Black Widow, one of the most anticipated movies that I'm looking forward to in a very long time. I'm not personally a big fan of Marvel. The final trailer is out. Hopefully no delay due to coronavirus. Yeah, that thing has officially became a pandemic thanks to World Health Organization and everybody's panicking out here. But Black Widow is coming soon and it's looking clean. Let's hope they don't mess this one up. The next good stuff of the day is coming from Little Nightmares 2. Yeah, I wanted to make a video on it, but it doesn't need a much bigger video as of now. I might do it later after playing Little Nightmares 1, of course, but they posted on the Twitter, if this supposition is correct, it might be better to simply stay dead. What do you think, children? Does this theory have legs? And guess what? They have fan theories, and this one in specific that said these creatures are reanimated humans. And guess what? It's by whom? By Super Horror Bro Mike, our good friend over at Super Horror Bro. Yes, these creatures are reanimated humans, and they themselves know that this theory holds up. That is why they're showing this. So yeah, that's the good stuff. Congratulations, Mike. You finally gained the recognition that you deserve. And finally, the third good stuff of the day is from myself. Yes, Outlast live stream that we did. It's not a good stuff for the day. I didn't do anything much, but I'm just here to announce that I will play Outlast as separate videos. Let's play. Also, I'm announcing that I will play Resident Evil 7 and Little Nightmares first. Little Nightmares DLCs, all 2 or 3 of them. So there's so much Let's Play coming on the channel, but let's get back to the video. Now, before we talk about the teaser in other ways, let's get back to the tweet itself. Remember when I said there's no light at the end of this tunnel? Two things were the key here. Firstly is the light. Since we can clearly see how dark it is, and since the tweet mentions specifically that there is no light in this tunnel or at the end of this tunnel, what if the time has finally come to use flashlight or something around that source and use it as a game mechanic? I know Stranger Sewers is the darkest level in Dark Deception, but if we go beyond that, we don't need to take out all the lights in this cave, but what if you have a flashlight or a source of light that has a limited visibility and you need to use it carefully in order to save it or use it more efficiently and effectively? This is something that I personally want them to do for a very long time. It would make the level harder, completely different from anything we've seen before, but it would also open the door for creativity, mashup of things we never seen before. 3D Pac-Man horror game with beautiful designs, environments, and creepy monsters chasing you, whilst you gotta strategize your resources to not just stay alive, but also escape as well. We could implement that, but I don't think it'll happen. What do you think? The other way to interpret this statement is that this is a metaphor, which I'm 100% solid it is. Usually the statement of there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, usually used when situation gets tough and you see no way out, you are in complete darkness and you have to keep going and find that end of the tunnel to see the light. It's all old news, but that's exactly what's happening here. They're saying even if you get to the end of this, you don't see no light because there isn't any light in here. Light means escaping from torture, torment, punishment from Mama Bear and Trigger Teddy's. Death is the easy way out, hence they're telling you even after you collect all the soul shards and avoid them, you reach the end of the tunnel or you reach the end of the level, there's still something else waiting for you on the other side of boss battle. I would like to draw a line in here. Even if we see a situation like this in chapter 4 where we have entire level or a zone or a place like this, we need, and when I say we, I don't mean us players, I mean developers need to use this to their advantage to introduce a new mechanic. Who knows, but one thing I can assure you, if this ends up in a massive cave, know this, it'll be one heck of an experience, because if you haven't played Outlast or Outlast 2 or Until Dawn, firstly, you're missing out, and wait until I play those games and Resident Evil 7, and secondly, these settings are insane for horror games, and especially where you cannot fight back. Like I mentioned in previous videos, there are chances of us losing our powers. It's not far-fetched after seeing all of this. One final thing, my personal opinion is that the whole level isn't just taking place in cave or underground mines, but there's more to this than we initially realized, and I love how subtle these teasers are to make it think that we're getting one thing when in reality we're getting completely different thing. Now, we did talk about the tunnel. The tunnel is very important here because mine and cave may sound similar, but they're kind of different in a way. Tunnel works completely different than mine. As we know, they have scarcity of literally everything. Some have scarcity of, well, light, and others are completely dead ends. So it'll be very interesting to see which pattern they're going to use. Daycare center, get out of here. Cemetery, get out of here. Cave tunnel is where it's at right now with these characters. And since we know there are 3 zones, daycare center, cemetery, cave tunnel, you got it, ladies and gentlemen. We right here just decoded and exposed and leaked all of that good stuff location for Dark Deception Chapter 4, Mama Bear. I just still can't wrap my head around this. Mama Bear roaming around a place like this. One thing I will say though, cave, tunnels, and mines, all these have different feels and design to them. And since we're going for a specific cave and tunnels, oh boy, the corners are going to be so tight. Play Outlast, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. And not to mention things falling off on their own, like I said in the beginning. But yeah, I'll talk more about this in a future video. Until then, subscribe right now to become an official member of SmackNPie. If you're watching this and I haven't reached 25k yet, subscribe right now. And if I have, then help me get to 30k because that's our new goal. Watch these videos and I'll see you on the flip side.